Have you ever wished to be someone who is truly unshakable? Someone who doesn't care about criticism, rejection, loss, or betrayal? Have you ever dreamed of the day when you will finally stop feeling that silent pain, that deep anguish that eats you up inside even when you pretend to be fine on the outside? Maybe you're tired of trying to please everyone, of maintaining an image that requires strength all the time, when in reality, all you wanted was to rest for just a moment from the pressure of being untouchable. What if I told you that true strength comes from something completely different? It doesn't come from avoiding pain, from hardening yourself, or pretending that nothing affects you. Instead, it comes from embracing your wounds, facing your deepest fears, and finally accepting who you are, even when the world around you feels like it's falling apart. But let me tell you something that perhaps no one has had the courage to say. As long as you try to avoid pain, it will continue to control you. As long as you try to numb yourself, protect yourself, or hide, you will remain a hostage to everything around you. The words that hurt, the actions that disappoint, the silences that kill you inside. This is not weakness. This is the reality for most people. The difference is that some pretend better than others. They build walls, create facades, and hide behind masks because they think that strength is about never feeling pain. Carl Jung, one of the greatest figures in depth psychology, said that we are not what happens to us, but what we choose to become. And that's where the key lies. It's not about shielding yourself from the world, about becoming cold, indifferent, or untouchable. It's about integrating. It's about bringing to light everything that currently affects you in the dark. True strength is not the absence of pain, but the full awareness of who you are, even when you're bleeding. If you've made it this far, it's not by chance. This video is for you, for those who are tired of hurting themselves with everything and everyone. It's for you who feel that you are always at an emotional disadvantage, as if other people have power over you that you don't understand. I want to show you that it doesn't have to be this way, but for that, you'll have to face some uncomfortable truths that may hurt. And perhaps for the first time, this pain will set you free. You believe that what hurts you is out there, in the actions of others, the poorly chosen words, the betrayals, the abandonment you suffered. But the truth is brutal. None of this really has the power to hurt you unless there is already an open wound inside. What hurts you is not what others do to you. It's what these experiences activate within you. It's the story you tell yourself about it, the old trauma that has never been addressed, the emptiness you disguise with strength, pride, and that desperate need to seem well-adjusted. Jung teaches us that the pain we feel in the face of the external world is a reflection of what has not yet been integrated within our internal world. That's why some people can go through devastating situations and still maintain clarity, while others crumble at a simple comment. It's not about what happens, it's about where it hits you. And here comes an uncomfortable truth. You still suffer so much because, on some level, you believe you can control how the world should treat you. You are still trying to be good enough, smart enough, strong enough, understanding enough, as if that guarantees that no one will hurt you. But control is an illusion, and as long as you cling to it, you live in constant tension, trying to predict the unpredictable, trying to avoid the inevitable. Do you want to stop suffering? Then stop protecting yourself from suffering. What you need is not more control, but more awareness. As long as you believe that people need to change for you to stop feeling pain, you will remain enslaved by the actions of others. Your freedom begins the moment you understand that everything that comes from outside only has power if it finds an echo within you. And this is exactly where the true battlefield lies: the unconscious. What you do not see, do not understand, and do not master, masters you. And this is what we will explore in the next part. Now, the unconscious is a force more powerful than we often realize. It is not just a vague cloud of thoughts or memories. It is a deeply embedded system of old wounds, fears, desires, and unresolved emotions. These parts of you that you have hidden, buried, or repressed are the very things that govern your emotional reactions and decisions. These are the pieces of you that, if ignored, will continue to shape your life in ways you don't even understand. And as long as you live in ignorance of these parts, they will continue to control you. The reason you feel anger out of nowhere, or sadness that seems to overwhelm you for no reason, or that underlying fear that you can't quite shake, it's because these parts of you have never been confronted. They are the ghosts of your past, the wounds that never healed. And until you go inside and confront them, they will continue to sabotage your peace, your clarity, and your happiness. The biggest lie you've been told is that you are in control of your life when you're not. At least, not as long as you continue living on autopilot, reacting without knowing why, feeling without understanding where those feelings come from, making decisions that you later sabotage. Carl Jung made this clear when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And that is exactly what is happening to you right now. The pain you feel, the anger that explodes out of nowhere, the sadness that invades you without explanation, none of this is random. These emotions are messengers coming from parts of you that have been forgotten, ignored, or repressed. Jung referred to this dark territory as the unconscious, and it is not a passive, vague cloud of thoughts. It is an active, powerful force, a hidden system within you that continues to decide what you feel and how you act. Do you wonder why certain words destroy you while others just roll off your back? It's because those words touch sensitive points within you that are still alive. And if they are alive, it is because you have never confronted them. You have only pushed them under the psychological rug. Now, they continue to trip you up. Jung said, "We cannot change anything until we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses." And what have you been doing? Judging yourself, repressing yourself, silencing yourself, as if that would solve anything. The truth is, the unconscious does not disappear just because you ignore it. It only finds more dangerous ways to manifest, in toxic relationships, in patterns of self-sabotage that you can't break, in anxieties and fears that arise when everything seems to be going well. This is not bad luck. It is your unconscious trying to wake you up. But you keep sleeping. Do you want to be someone who is no longer hurt? Then stop running away from what is inside you. Because as long as you do not know your unconscious, you will be a puppet of your emotions. The more you try to protect yourself from external pain, the more vulnerable you become to internal pain. But there is a way out, and it is not in defending yourself. It is in integrating yourself. Becoming untouchable is not an act of resistance, it is an act of deep knowledge. We will explore this deeper in the next part. What does it truly mean to be someone who is unshaken? And why does this strength not come from armor, but from acceptance? Most people believe that the only way to avoid getting hurt is by closing themselves off. They build walls, create masks, develop emotional armor, and pretend that nothing affects them. They say, "I don't care anymore. I couldn't care less. Nothing gets to me." But inside, they continue to bleed. They keep corroding because the problem was never about feeling. It was about not knowing what you're feeling and why. Jung was precise when he said, "Know all the theories, master all the techniques, but when touching a human soul, be just another human soul." That human soul you insist on hiding behind, a strong, invulnerable, controlled character, is screaming to be seen. Becoming emotionally strong has nothing to do with being cold. It has nothing to do with ignoring pain, avoiding conflict, or pretending not to care. It has everything to do with integrating, with accepting, with bringing to light everything you've buried in the dark. You do not become untouchable by creating a barrier between yourself and the world. You become untouchable when you realize that no one can touch what has already been embraced within you. When you integrate your shadows, your fears, your flaws, your insecurities, you stop reacting to everything you observe. You choose. You are no longer an emotional puppet, and that is true freedom. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming who you really are, not what others expect of you, not what you thought you should be to be accepted, but what emerges from within you, from the meeting of light and shadow between ego and unconscious. Individuation is not a process of perfection, Jung said, but of integration. You don't need to become a better person. You just need to become whole. And here is the secret that no one told you. The more you run from pain, the more it chases you. The more you try not to be affected, the more fragile you become. But when you face your wounds, when you accept who you are, with all that is beautiful and ugly, noble and shameful, nothing outside has the power to dismantle you. However, this path requires courage, courage to look within, courage to abandon the masks, courage to feel. Because it is precisely in pain that the key to transformation is hidden.